So today we're gonna start the machine called lame over here, which is an IP address 10.10.10.3. This is an IP address. So let's do a simple ping command to check whether the host is live or not. Over here we can see that the server is responding with the TTL value 63. It means the server is live over there. But the server active है वहाँ पे. Let's try a simple nmap scan. So I'm gonna use nmap, but if I'm trying nmap, what are the things I need to look? Very first thing, the service plus their version, which might be an application running in the backend. The open ports also regarding that service, plus the OS type. These are the important things we need when we are scanning a server. So, service plus version in nmap, we will use small s capital V. For open ports, we can use -p, and we can specify the port numbers with the 65535, and we can use capital O for the OS detection. But what about the time and performance? It means threads. I'm talking about the threads. If you remember in your CH batch, there is a time and technique stats for T0 to T5, which can you see on your nmap -help command. So over here, the time and performance, which is time setting templates, T0 to T5. Higher is faster. So we can use T0 to T5, but over here, we're gonna use the T4, which is your aggressive scan. And if you want to save the output, we can use small and capital N. See over here. For output to save, we can use small O capital N. So let's try nmap sv capital O -p scan the entire port number, which is from 65,535 ports, -t4 -on, and name this one lame, and the IP address. Let's see the interface, if the machine has an interface of that. So I guess there is no interface of this machine. Okay, so it will take some time over here. Why? Because I simply put -p, which will take a lot of time to scan the entire number of devices. And as I can see, there is no interface. If you do again a simple ping command, the machine is still active, but there is no interface on the back end. And the time will be decreased time to time. Otherwise, I can use nmap -a -t4 and the IP address. The -a is basically your aggressive scan. So we have 1 minute over here. But in the real life scenario, in the real life environment, we don't use -A and -T4 because it will create a lot of packets in the back end, so the network can be disturbed. So in the real life scenario, we don't use -A and -T4. 28 seconds left. But the major agenda is when you are simply scanning a server or penetration testing any of the website or an application, all you need to know is you have to make simply a report on that. You have to go step by steps all the functions. One thing you have to remember, that POC is the important part, that you have to prove proof of concept to the client side, that what they need to change in their further scanning phase. For example, all you need is simply whatever the scan has been done, you have to make a screenshot, just like this one. Over in your keyboard, there is a button called print screen. If you click on that, it will save the output, just like this one. Let's try. Let's remove this one. -FN max retries is equal to 0. Let's try this one. 11 seconds. Over here, you have mentioned the identify the open port services plus version in the specific server. But -FN max retry is basically used for scan your boost of your scanning technique. I put 0 over here because I just want to scan that port only once, not the twice, to identify the port is open or not. And if you go over here in your home directory, you can see the name, the text file that we have scanned. And you can see the port numbers are there. As per a security analyst, I can see the port number 21 is open over there. Port 22 is open there. Open SSH 4.7.139.445, which is your Samba system, and they are still open. And there's a port number 3632/TCP is also over there, Ubuntu server. So our major agenda is to enumerate each and everything which we can find over here. That's why I'm gonna do the advanced scan, and you can see over here, you can clarify the simple scan. See over here and see this one. The port 22 is open over there, but the port 22 is open over there, which is an anonymous FTP login is allowed. And why is this open? Because they didn't change their credentials, their username and password of their FTP server. The port 22 is open there, but I can see the algorithm they have used. The 139 port number, Samba, 445 port number, Samba. And you can see the traceback, the TTL values over there. So, the port 21 anonymous FTP is unavailable. So we can simply connect this one. We can try the FTP utility to connect with that server. So I'm going to use FTP and the IP address. And he's asking me the password. So I simply know anonymous and anonymous. And I can see login successful. So let's do question mark ls where I am. Through question mark we can see which are the commands over here. And when I put ls, I want to see the list directories. Let's try dir. No. ls-all. We can see that we are on the directory which is empty over here. There is no file, no such file over there. pwd present working directory, and we can see that we are in the root. So let's try directory traversal if you can find something relevant data. Let's try the home directory to access. Fail. We don't have the permission to write over there. We have only the permission to access only that specific folder which is provided by us. So we can see the port number 22 is open there, but we don't have the username and password. The connection control is plain text. You can see over here, there is no such file over here. And FTP is basically used to share the files on your WAN network or a LAN network. But over here, as I can see, that port number 139 and 445 is open there. Can we enumerate the versions over here? Let's try enumerate the version of 139 and 445 with the help of our Metasploit. We need to enumerate the versions, which version they are using, because the port number 139 and 445 still open there. Let's try Metasploit. Enumeration is the key of success, which I told you a very long away. You have to extract all the things one by one. So in the Metasploit, I'm going to use the type auxiliary over here. So I'm going to use the search string. I'm going to put the auxiliary and the name. And the name will be your SMB. And you can see 35 modules, which are all SMB servers with a simple string. Just the type and the name. For example, there are all auxiliaries. See, but you have to use the relevant one. For example, you have to check the SMB version detection. SMB version detection. There could be SMB version 1, SMB version 2. You can see. If it doesn't know which SMB version they are using, 1 or 2 or 3, you can simply use the SMB version over here. So use auxiliary, show options, set our host and the IP address. You have to pull the IP address over here. Then cross check, show options. You can see that the target has been set over there. Threads 1, the boosted scanning pass. You have to fill the yes compound over there. The last thing we can do is run. And we can see the SMB version is 3.20 Debian. See this one, 139. It didn't mention which version they are using. All we have to do is to enumerate the services. So this is the Samba version. We can simply search for the exploit. So over here, I'm going to use a local database server, which is my search exploit vulnerability, Samba version. And over here, I can see 2 other scripts. One is your username map script, and one is your remote heap overflow. Let's try Metasploit first. Command execution. We can see the command execution over here. and this is an RB file, which is your Metasploit file. So I'm gonna search over here, search, and but there is a lots of vulnerabilities over here. How I'm gonna look this one? As you can see, that was username map script. So over here, we need to find the user map. The user map script. Okay, so user map script is over here. Command execution. So we can use command execution over here. Let's try to use this one. So I'm going to use over here. This is an exploit. Let's try to exploit this one. So use exploit, show options. The simple way, if you doesn't know which one do you look over here, simply Google it. Debian exploit. Yes, we can see the command execution in the very top. You can see other difference also. There's an exploit also in GitHub. This module exploit is a command execution in Samba version 3.20 through when the non-default user map script configuration option by specifying a username containing a shell meta character can execute arbitrary commands. Arbitrary command means your code, your malicious softwares. No authentication needed to exploit this vulnerability since the option is used to map usernames prior. And you can see over here. There are lots of vulnerabilities, and you can see there is a script also, which is a buffer overflow attack. Let's try this one. Set our host 110.10.10.10.10.3 and the port number they're gonna attack on 139. But over here we need a reverse shell, reverse connection also. Okay, let's try without reverse shell. Let's try exploit. And we can see that we have a command shell open on the target machine. And if you look over here, they have created a client with a socket A, socket B, and matching with the socket A input. And we can see that the command shell has been open over there. So if I type who am I can see there is a root server over there. PWD, I'm on the root directory. Simple check. So I'm the root. So I basically run to the root directory ls-all, and I can see read the root.txt file. So the main objective of these machines are you have to enumerate each and every version and check how an attacker simply gain unauthorized access to the server when a server is running unauthorized applications. The major agenda of this machine is you need to figure out all the services plus their versions in the backend concept. If you see over here, bin bash -i to get a TTY over there. So the main objective of this machine is to get a root shell.